Hi friends, welcome back. Thanks for being here. I'm just gonna go into a recent read video because I haven't updated anybody on what I've read since the end of last year, I wanna say. I read a ton of manga this year so far. Let's just dive right into it. So I read the entirety of I Hear the Sunspot. I gave the series overall a 4-star. I really liked this one. I think this was the very first BL I read. I think. I could be wrong, but I think that's the case. I got it all from the library, so that was great. And I've also been reading The Ancient Magus Bride. I've read 1 and 2. I don't know if I've read number 3. I've been getting them 5 stars. Honestly, they've been really great. I think I did read number 3 now. And I really want to continue the series. They are kind of slow to come through on my library. I read pretty much all of the Apothecary Diaries that are out at this point. I'm waiting for the next one to drop, which I think is number 8. And then number 9 comes out shortly after that. And I'm trying to get them through the library. I've also been reading The Witch and the Beast. I've read number 1 and number 2. I've been giving them 4 stars so far. I picked this one up because it says it's for fans of origami, and I can kind of see the correlation. I do like the main characters so far, and it's interesting enough. It's pretty fast-paced, and I feel like this one would translate to anime very well. So there's that. I did pick up Laid Back Camp number 1 and 2. This is a really chill series I've been wanting to just read casually for a while now. And I like it. I like the main character. And yeah, there's not a whole lot to it. It's about I think she's a high schooler. I'm not sure. She might be middle school. But she goes camping. And then there's like a camp club. And it's all about making friends. It's pretty chill. I like Silver Spoon a lot too. And this gives me very similar vibes to Silver Spoon. So I also read all of The Girl from the Other Side. I did part with my deluxe editions that I owned. Ended up finishing the series out through my library. I gave the series overall a 5-star rating. I did enjoy this one. It is a very quick read. I was a little confused by the end, but I don't think I'm alone in that. I also read all of Blue Flag. Again, this is another one that I started when I was purchasing them, and then I realized I could get them through the library, and I literally borrowed like the whole rest of the series and binge read it, and I loved this series. One of the best series I've read so far. I gave it 5 stars, obviously. Definitely, I feel like realistic of the gay experience growing up. So I did also read Entangled with You. This was a short story anthology. What is it? The Something of a Thousand Grasses. I did like this one. Like I said in a previous video, I kind of wish this was one continuous story, not a bunch of short stories kind of put into an anthology, but I did like it. The art is beautiful in this, and I definitely recommend you pick it up if you're just looking for something that isn't a big series, if you're looking for like a standalone. I also obviously read Toilet Bound Hanako. This says number 17. Gave this 5 stars, obviously. I'm waiting for the next, I think we're getting 2 in the next year. Noragami is officially coming to an end this year. This year or early next year? I don't know. Like it has like 3, I mean, I'm probably wrong, but it has a couple more volumes coming out in English. And then it's done. They've said it's going to be ending, so yeah, I'm sad about that, but I think it's about time, honestly. I also read The Dragon Knight's Beloved, number 1. I think I maybe have read number 2 at this point. This list I'm looking at is kind of outdated, to be honest with you. I wrote it months ago. Gave that 4 stars. It is good. There's nothing really crazy interesting about it. It's just kind of cute, and I've been enjoying it so far, so there's that. I did read The Pet Detective Agency. This is a standalone. I don't know why I wrote 4 stars on here. I think honestly I would bump this down to a 3 at this point. I did have some issues with this one, but overall it was okay. I read the first volume of Sasaki and Miyano. I cannot say his name for some reason. I gave it 3 stars. It's just okay. I don't think I'm going to be continuing this one, if I'm honest with you. I did read Seaside Stranger number 1 and 2. I own quite a few more of them. I've been giving them 5 stars. I like this one a lot. I am excited to continue reading this. I read Red Hood #1. I have 2 and 3 that I own, but I have not picked them up yet. I gave #1 4 stars. It's pretty good. It's a Little Red Riding Hood retelling, and #3 is the last one. So, again, it's another really short story. I feel like it's gonna leave us hanging on the end, so there's that. I did read The Galaxy Next Door #4, and I gave it 4 stars. I'm anxiously awaiting the next one. I love this series. They just come out so slowly. I did obviously read Noragami #25, gave it 5 stars. Duh. And I read The Dragon's Betrothed, gave it 4 stars. I honestly might bump this up to 5. I really liked this one. It's silly. BL, one of the characters is a dragon, and he's like clueless and really awkward and kind of annoying, to be honest with you. I love this. It's almost like Grumpy Sunshine BL. I'm excited to read more of this, but they are coming out really slow. I did read Box of Light #2. Obviously gave it 5 stars. I've been loving this series, but again, it's another one of those ones that's not super popular, so it comes out really, really slow. If we continue getting it at all, I will keep my fingers crossed. But if you haven't heard of Box of Light, I don't know why, but I want to show you some of the art in Box of Light. So here we've got Box of Light #2. The art is really simple style. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're looking at here. Really chill. This is about, basically there is a convenience store that is purgatory. And when people are like on the cusp of dying or just died, they come to this and they don't really realize that that's what it is. But you follow the main characters are the group of employees that work at this convenience store, and they're either... dead is not really a thing for them. They're kind of like in between. Like either they died, but instead of like passing on, they wanted to work at this convenience store instead. So they kind of get to go between the two worlds. And their manager is like dead, but not really human anymore. And the corporate people for the store are like not really human anymore either. So yeah, this is really fun. I think it's funny. I really enjoyed that the style of art is so different, and I definitely recommend you pick this up if you're into like the near shore, far shore type of thing, because this is underrated in my opinion. The last one I have here on my list, oh, actually it's not the last one. Almost. I also read a Yashamon #1. This one did get canceled, unfortunately. I think they're maybe printing 3 volumes in English before it got canceled. This one, the main character kind of reminds me of the guy from Fire Force, not gonna lie. He has that like loud, obnoxious character energy. And I'm not the biggest fan of that, even though I like Bakugo. Don't get me started. I like the angry loud, but I don't like the like obnoxious idiot loud. Kind of annoys me sometimes. But yeah, the main character reminds me of him if you mixed him with like Saitama. So from One Punch Man, that pretty much summarizes this. I gave it 3 stars. I would continue reading this honestly to see where it goes because I'm interested. It's kind of like yokai gangs type thing. It's interesting. The story and the concept is interesting enough. The main character is just like really extra. And not really my jam. So that being said, I would continue this if we were getting like a proper series out of it. But since they already said it's canceled and it kind of just stops mid-story, I don't know if I'm going to pick up any more of these. I'll be real with you. And then the very last manga I have on this list is Black Paradox by Junji Ito. I did give this one 3 stars. I don't know if I'm just falling out of love with Junji Ito. I know it sounds blasphemous. I still really enjoy the art in his stories, but honestly, the stories just don't give enough for me anymore. And I don't know. They don't, maybe I'm just desensitized to like the body horror and stuff in his writing, because this one had such a good concept and I just found it so, I don't know. I just wanted more from it. I needed more from this story. It felt like it just lacked a little bit of that oomph. So I did give it a 3 star, and I did get this one from the library. I did not buy this one because, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep collecting them at this point. we'll see. I'm not going to make it a huge priority, honestly. Because the last couple I've read that I've just kind of been like, I don't know. What's all the hype about, you know? Okay, so then going into the actual books. These are in no particular order because, of course, they're not. I did read The Mysteries of Thorn Manor by Margaret Rogerson. And I got this from the library because when I looked at it on the shelf at the bookstore, I realized how tiny it is, and they wanted like $27 for it or something. It was a lot because it's a hardback, but it's itty bitty. And this is basically just fan service, I'll be real with you, for a Sorcery of Thorns, I believe. I love Margaret Rogerson, but it's been years since I read that book, and I just don't feel as attached to the characters anymore. Maybe I need to reread it. I ended up giving this one 3 stars. It was just okay, but honestly, I don't know. I could have done without it. It just felt like fan service and unnecessary, and I much rather would have taken a sequel to Vespertine at this point over it because I fucking love that book so much. I also read Mountains Made of Glass by Scarlett St. Clair. I gave this one 4 stars. This is overall pretty good. I think I got it on Kindle and I read it like in one day. This was overall really good. I liked it a lot and I want to see more, obviously. I like Scarlett St. Clair. I like most of her books pretty well, so it is what it is. I did finally read The Serpent in the Wings of Night as well. I gave this one 4 stars. Overall, there wasn't anything I disliked about this book. The sequel is out now, and I think it's on KU. And I do have it on my Kindle. I just need to get around to reading it. I'm kind of chomping at the bit to read it, but there's other things I'm chomping at the bit to read too. So yeah, this one I'll get to the sequel pretty soon, I think. I did like this one a lot. I did finally also get around to reading Legends and Lattes. And I gave this 5 stars. And I am so excited for the sequel. I can see why people were really into this. I had it for like a good 6 months probably before I read it. And I'm sad that I waited so long, honestly. I love this. It is cozy, fantasy, and sapphic, and amazing. I love everything about this. Oh my god. What was the little mouse dude's name? I can't remember, like Thimble or something like that. I can't remember his name. I love all the characters in this. Yeah, this is like cozy D&D vibes, and obviously if you're on BookTube, you've probably heard about this book if you haven't read it already, but I loved it. I can't wait for the sequel. So the next book I did read was The Light Pirate by Lily Brooks Dalton. That's who it is. She wrote Good Morning Midnight, and it is one of my all-time favorite books. I've read it 3 times, I want to say now, which is not a lot because I don't reread a whole lot, but I do really like this book, and it's been made into a movie, which I thought was decent. Anyways, she wrote The Light Pirate. I would love to see this adapted as well. This is a Florida-centered climate change story about a girl who was born during a hurricane. Her mother dies, and it follows her life in Florida as the climate change causes the water to rise, essentially, and kind of chronicles different portions of her life. So you see her as like a little kid, well, her mom mostly, and her mom's backstory, and then her being born, and then her as a little kid, and then her as like a young adult, and then her as like an adult. And it's both sad and kind of encouraging about the human determination to survive in an environment like that. I found that the way the author wrote like them moving into like tree houses and stuff was really cool. Overall, I love this a lot. I don't know if I said it, but I gave it 5 stars. Another favorite. She is super underrated in my opinion. I know she's like, I think won some awards at this point, but she only has these 2 books and then like a memoir that she's published. And I could really get behind her like writing a lot of books, but a lot of her books have this climate change, dystopian, post-apocalyptic kind of thing to it, but has like an uplifting vibe in some regard, somewhat, about like human emotion, human connection, like humanity. I did finally get around to reading Queen of Myth and Monsters by Scarlett St. Clair. I gave this 4 stars. I enjoy the series, and I'm going to keep reading it. I don't have a lot to say about that one. The very first book I did finish this year was The Priory of the Orange Tree, and I didn't quite finish it before the end of the year. I remember that, but it was right at the beginning. Gave it 4 stars. The sequel is now out. It's been out for a while. I could get it at the library, but it's not a sequel, it's a prequel, I think. Yeah, prequel. Anyways, the next one, her next book in this world is out, and I am once again putting it off because it's massive, and I don't know. I liked it well enough, but it was just so slow paced, in my opinion. So I'm gonna read the next one soon, maybe this year, but I'm not in any rush because I don't have the mental capacity to read a massive, slow, massive world building book again. I just don't have it in me right now. So, okay. Aside from that, I have read A Game of Fate by Scarlett St. Clair. I finally started reading the Hades side of the Hades and Persephone series because I own the first 2. I just never read them. A Game of Fate is fine. I much prefer the the Steffi. I much prefer the Persephone side of the story so far. I don't know. I did have some qualms with A Game of Fate. I know I read on a Goodreads review where they were like, all he talks about is his dick. And I'm like, yeah, that's, yeah, like more than half of the book is just that, him lusting after her, which if you're into that, sure. But I was like, oh my God. I'm hoping the next one's better. Overall, I think I give this like a 4 star, maybe even a 3. It was okay. It was good enough. Here comes my dog. Hi, baby. What you doing? Did you finally come inside? You've been out all morning chasing a squirrel. I know you can go back out. You're okay. You don't have to wait for me. I'm back here working. I love you. You good girl. Oh, goodness, Junie. Oh, careful. Hey. Okay. Go on. Go. Thank you. Gosh. Anyways, yeah, so I don't know. If I had to wing it, I'd say like a 3.5 for A Game of Fate. And I did finally read The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I got it from the library. I wanted to see what the hell everybody is talking about because it's been out for like a year or 2 or something now. And people are like, this is the most ridiculous book I've ever read. Like, you can find all kinds of reactions on the internet, okay? I did read it, and I'm so sorry. I did like it. I get that it's ridiculous, especially the sex scene. Wow. Maybe I'm just able to, like, put all that shit aside and, like, maybe it's not that I knew it was coming, too. It could have been that. Sorry, I have a dog hair in my glasses. It could be that I knew what to expect when it came to that because I'd watched all these reaction videos already, and I wasn't really, like, shocked or, like, surprised by any of that because I was like, I know what to expect here. This is going to be ridiculous. So I was able to, like, kind of put that aside and, like, enjoy the book regardless because I totally can see how that would A, ruin it for some people, and B, be like, this is so stupid. I have to DNF this. I get it. Especially the very beginning where it's just like constant mention of how tall he is. And I will tell you, I am in the middle of Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood right now. Wow. Can't talk today. Yeah, I'm in the middle of Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood right now. And I am enjoying it, even though it's like, he's such an asshole. Like the whole first half of the book. Which is just kind of the same thing. I don't know. I'm easy to please, I guess. I feel bad that I liked this. That's the worst part, I think. But I did enough to keep reading her books. And then I also read Heaven Official's Blessing, #1. Gave it 5 stars. And then I had like a I traded a bunch of books in and I got a bunch of money. I sold my DS. That's what it was. Got a bunch of money from the used bookstore. So I took it to Barnes & Noble and I bought all of the Heaven Officials Blessings books that are out, I think. Well, I got 1 through 5. I have 1 through 5 now. I think there's a couple more out or coming out soon. So I'm obsessed. It did take me a little while to get through though. And then last but not least, I just recently finished A Night to Surrender by Tessa Dare because I'm trying to branch out and read historical romance to see if I actually hate it or not. I fucking loved this one. I can't believe I've been sleeping on Tessa Dare as long as I have. I have the first book in one of her other series. I got it from the library. So yeah, I am definitely going to be continuing the Spindle Cove series for sure. And reading her other ones just to see how I feel about them. There is a Tessa Dare readathon going on. It's a read-along, I think, actually. Anyways, I can't remember the YouTuber's name, but I'll link it down below and I'll like put it on the screen because I'm sure I'm going to look it up and be like, you fucking idiot. Anyways, yeah, so if you're interested in going along with that, check her stuff out. But I'm going to be trying to participate, not like an active participant, like I'm not part of the YouTubers involved in it, but like as a regular person, I'm trying to participate in this and hopefully enjoy some of the live shows. But yeah, I loved it and I am so happy that I found that and I found it interesting enough to branch out. And now I'm a little more open-minded to historical romance. So we're going to try some more of them. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you have some thoughts about any of these books that I mentioned, let me know down in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching and I will see y'all later. Bye.